Hi class, let's take a look at problem 3. Now, I'm going to do problem 3 with a little bit of a shortcut. And here's the basic idea. So we're still going to graph the line y is equal to x divided by 2 plus 4. And remember that in this case, we have a greater, so it's going to be a dotted line, which means that we're going to need a y-intercept of 0, 4 and a slope of technically 1/2. So let me put those two dots. So 0, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me count them again. I think they're 1, 2, 3, 4. And then slope of 1/2. That means we're going to go 1 unit up and then technically 1 and 2. Let me fix the lining. Okay, so 1 unit up and then technically 1 and 2. Okay, so those are our 2 coordinate points. Let me answer the line. And remember that this line is going to be dotted because of the statement greater. So give me just a second. Okay, that's our line. Now, if you remember what we did on the other coordinate points, on the other problem, we technically selected coordinate points, and in this case, you could use as a test point 0, 0, but it's a lot easier if you look at the statement. In this case, y is greater than x divided by 2 plus 4. Greater means above. So in this situation, because the statement says greater, we would be shading every value above the line. And notice that, well, this is your line. Greater means above towards the positive infinity. So this region here. Now, observe what happens if we do the test points. So in this case, for the test points, and I'm going to select for the test points the values that are already on the screen, which is technically 0, 0, and you can pick any coordinate point. So x and y is equal to 0, 0. We're going to plug them in into y is greater than x divided by 2 plus 4, or 0 is greater than 0 divided by 2 plus 4. 0 is greater than 4, which is technically false. So that means that if we had used as a test point, 0, 0 at the bottom, this ended up being false. Therefore, your solution is above the line. This idea of greater works well if your slope of the line it's not very steep and you can actually see the values above the line. Let me show you what this looks using technology. And what I did here is I cut and pasted so it'll be easier to visualize it. Notice that these are all your coordinate points. Here's 0, 0. It ended up being false. Your line is dotted, so our solution is every coordinate point above that. So at this point, let me just box in our answer. Remember that your solution is the graph. And then if a specific problem is not asking for test points, you could just do the shading. Let me show you the second one. In this case, well, we're going to be graphing y is equal to 3x over 2 plus 5. So our y-intercept is 0,5. Our slope is 3/2. So 0,5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's technically here. Then slope of 3/2, that means that we're going to do 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2 to the right. Let's actually put our line, and notice that our line, it's going to be solid because of the statement of less than or equal. So when we insert the line, this was already good. Let me just make it a little bit thicker. There we go. Okay. Now, notice that our line, it's given as a statement of less than. Less than means below the line. So the shading that we're going to be doing on this one, it's going to be below technically the line. That would be our solution. Now, let me pick test points again, 0, 0, so that you see it. And as we plug it in, this is y is less than or equal to 3x over 2 plus 5, or 0 less than or equal to 3 times 0 divided by 2 plus 5. And let me fix the 3. Or 0 is less than or equal to 0 plus 5. 0 less than or equal to 5, which is actually true. Okay, we tested 0, 0, it's true. So we end up shading every value below the line. As I mentioned earlier, if they're not asking for the test points, then you could just graph the line and then either shade above or below it. In this case, greater. This is a less than or equal, so we're shading below. Let me show you what this one looks like using technology, and that would be this line. So every coordinate point below the line, your line is solid. Let me just show you once again the last two problems. And once again, greater, y greater than x over 2 plus 4 means you're shading above. Less than means you're shading below the line. And here, greater means your line is dotted. Less than or equal, it's a solid line. So on problems that they're not asking us for technically the test points, some of those may be given as instructions to provide the test points. You may just do that shading.